Good morning. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Tuesday.
I have to be hanging up. What dance should we do today for everyone?
Did you like that? Did you like the dancing feet of our Polish princess, Miss Catherine Jane Morris?
Thank you. Yes.
And my twirling?
Yeah. What dance should we be doing today, everyone? Should we waltz?
We should do the hora. That's another cultural dance.
Oh,
wasn't that so fun?
Oh, that's something to do at your wedding.
Did you?
I did my best to try to do everything.
Can I ask a question?
I had never done it before.
The hora is super fun.
Yeah.
Did you know how to do that kind of shuffle ball change before yesterday?
Step ball change?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. See? Knew it. I knew it.
But only because, like, I never danced, but only because that's like the easiest thing they ever teach you.
You were good.
I can do one thing. It's a big shuffling your feet. I've never shuffle your feet a little. It's from being in musicals.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and let me be clear, the chorus.
The ensemble.
I was the ensemble. I was not a star. But then they'd be like, I don't know, do the step ball change in the back. That's what I was doing in the back. Everybody else is starring in the thing. I'm like, when does my moment come? Just waiting.
Mr. DeMel, I'm waiting for my close-up.
Yeah, hello.
I don't know. I thought it was so fun. And Holly, they had a packed day yesterday for Dingus Day, and it looked like she was having a great time.
Yeah, Lori says they learned how to do it in dance class.
There you
in
go.
Gym school. Gym class.
Well, either way, I hope that everyone had a good Dingus Day. And gosh, if you're waking up with us and you went to the Dingus Day parade, let us know how you're feeling.
Yeah, good for you.
That one guy, I thought it was so funny. I think he was wearing an Engine 1 firefighting sweatshirt.
Rescue
Okay,
one.
yes. It was so funny, though. He goes, you come here, you get a couple of pops. It was so funny.
Great catch. Whatever. Okay, you're going out. You can have
right. Of course. I'm like, who's not? I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Everyone. It's Buffalo, right? We all know each other. It is what it is.
I liked this part of the dancing.
Barbara says she's loving the Channel 7 blue. Thank you, Barbara. Also wearing blue today because it's World Autism Awareness Day. And Adam Campos did a really great, heartwarming story about how it is so important for kids with autism to get some early intervention. And the Summit Center in the North Towns is working to do just that.
Yeah, for sure. They have kids on like all ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And the little boy that he had on today was like super duper cute.
Oh, precious.
Like 3 years old. He was adorable.
And super smart. He can tell you what all the state capitals are, countries that start with certain letters. A lot of adults can't do that.
You're looking at one.
My man, John Marrero in the back, he just dropped a link to that story in the comments here. Barbara says, thank you for Adam's report.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It was adorable. Good morning. It's been a few days for me. I've missed you, Patty says. Glad you're back with us. You can see my dancing again on my Instagram page. Just follow me at Dranch TV.
I know. I've been thinking I should clip that little thing that they did in the morning show. Maybe I'll throw that on Facebook for everybody.
It was cute, wasn't it? Melly says blue again.
Yeah, you heard the story about yesterday, though.
Yesterday was a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let's talk about these utility solicitors first and foremost, because I think a lot of people are still discussing this issue in and around Western New York, because there are so many people who are concerned that the people who are coming to their door, ringing the doorbell saying, hey, I'm trying to sell you something, some solar energy, and if you have National Grid, you might want to switch, thinking it's a scam.
Right. So people think it's a scam. They're actually solicitors with this company, and they're not trying to like sell you a totally different utility. Some people can. That does exist. It does happen. But these guys are trying to see if you're eligible for an energy credit, a solar like energy credit. So it is a legit thing. People just, let's be real, from the comments that we got, people do not like people coming to their door.
Right. And I wonder, is it because we are such...
It's funny that this used to happen all the time.
Right. And that's kind of what I wonder. Like, have we become just so disconnected from society because we have this technology? Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, like, you could talk to somebody through your doorbell, right? And, that is a little bit easier and perhaps safer than door-to-door communication. But is it also indicative of where we are as a society? Like, we're afraid to go to the door and see who's at our front door, knowing something could happen.
Right. Justin says solicitations are annoying. If I didn't call you, don't just show up. I won't be pleasant.
Okay, that's fair.
Patty says I don't answer my door anymore. Karen says, so if legitimate, why the electric company doesn't provide it to us to save us money? Great question.
Sandra says they are targeting the senior apartments and actually lie and ask you to renew it. See, and that's not fair either. And some, as you mentioned this morning, and I think it's worth pointing out again, some people are legit.
Yeah.
That's not to say that there aren't scammers going around.
I mean, but there's scammers for everything.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, and I think that's our automatic, and I don't hate that that's our automatic go-to, that you think that someone's a scammer, because then you know what? You're much less likely to give them anything.
Right, exactly, right.
You know?
Robin, glad you're with us. She says, I won't answer my door for anyone. I don't know. I had a no solicitor sign, but they ring the doorbell either way. I trust no one. My 3 dogs go insane for anyone. Sans Amazon, she says.
Yeah, I truthfully, like, honestly, I'm usually just like, I'm too tired to deal with this right now. They may be a legitimate solicitor. They may have something interesting, but you know what? Leave me a pamphlet. I'll take a look at it.
Well, and then there's like the UPS driver or the Amazon driver who rings the bell when they drop a package at your porch. And then you're like, oh, who's at my door? Hello. And then there's no one there. And I'm like, who's ringing my doorbell? And then I'm like, oh, there's a package.
Yeah. Yep.
Noreen says, as a senior, I don't answer the door. Patty says, people taking advantage of the elderly are just scum. Quit.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit. Too legit to quit.
Yes.
Barbara's suspicious of everyone. Megan says it's like calling people.
Agreed.
People calling you. If I don't recognize the number, I don't answer it. Leave a message.
I get it. Yeah, I think the thing that was like tough was like we were seeing all these community like posting groups putting like these people's pictures up and being like they're a scam.
Right.
But it wasn't a scam. And then we did talk to the company because it is important to let people know like,
hey, this is happening.
Right, because you don't want to aggressive go at these people who come to your door when they're like, let's be real. We saw the picture of these kids. They're like 19 years old. They're probably picked it up as like a college job or like an in-between job, and they're just trying to make a little cash.
Did you see how young these kids were?
They're like 19. Yeah, I don't know.
Aaron, our boss, says, I remember growing up before cell phones, our car would break down and we'd have to knock on a stranger's door to call AAA. Right, like.
Right.
Could we go back to the early 90s where everything was like, okay, nothing was wrong?
Do you know what? Like, and listen, I don't disagree with this either, but like the Girl Scouts, do they even come door to door anymore?
You know, but it's so funny that you say that because somebody actually commented here, unless you're a Girl Scout, don't ring my bell.
But has anybody had, now we live in the city, but we do live in kind of like a little neighborhood. I'm surprised we haven't.
Yeah, especially you. You have, yeah.
You know I'd be buying cookies. Like, they would see me and be like, go to her house.
You're right. But then you kind of also then wonder for the Girl Scouts.
Like, listen, first off, I don't think anybody's mom sending them out like by themselves, right? Mom's usually with them when they're going door to door and doing that. But I just don't see them doing that anymore. And maybe they don't do that really, but they'll set up at different places, which I like too.
Karen says, I'm still stuck in the 90s. I know. Julie says of those guys who were going around door to door, they were cute young guys. If I was a lot younger, I'd let them in.
So they have to be careful at Julie's house.
Julie's on the prowl.
They're like, nobody else is worried about them. They're worried about it's so funny.
Julie, she a cougar.
Oh, Marguerite, I know. Tell me about it. The Points and Girl Scout cookies, that actually has been a post on the one like Weight Watchers thing that I follow. I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
We love when Jeff Baker comments.
What do you say?
Because he always comes up with the funniest stuff. I occasionally amuse myself answering a telemarketer, lead them on to get them excited, and then simply hang up.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's also not a good thing either. You know what I mean? I mean, they will just continue. Now they know you're a real person, so they're going to call back. Okay, but why did I think they were cute too? Erin says. Now, Erin is not a cougar.
Erin works with us.
She is single, ready to mingle too. Maybe we can connect the two of them.
Single, ready to mingle. Danielle says, I keep the door locked at all times. I don't answer the door to anyone. If I'm expecting company, they'll text me. Yeah. I'm all about the text. I don't answer.
Do you remember honking in somebody's driveway to let them know that you were there?
I mean, like, only if you had a really good relationship with them. But I remember somebody tried to pick me up one time and honked, and I was like, no.
Kelly.
Like, I think it was for like maybe a date or something like that.
And
like,
they honked. They didn't come to the door.
I just ignored it until they came to the door. I'm not going out for a honk. Are you kidding me? No.
That is kind of rude, isn't it?
Kind of.
Well, on a date, no less.
Yeah.
You want somebody to be chivalrous. Come say hello, meet my parents. Maybe. Why are you looking?
I'm trying to remember if that's what like if I just yeah.
Which boyfriend?
Well, trust me, if someone honked for me, they were not a boyfriend. I didn't make it past that level.
Oh
one.
Gosh, Justin says if you honk, you're lazy.
You know what my dad used to do when we were growing up?
What?
Okay, so we had like a garage attached to the house. So you'd like come out of the door and he'd be in the garage. He'd wait till you were like just walking in front of the car to get in.
Honk. Russ does that all the time.
That's so loud. You're like this.
But why does it get you every single time? Because you can also, you know, that's what they're going to do.
Did anybody get pranked with an April Fool's Day prank yesterday? Did you get one at all?
I hate April Fool's Day.
Oh, I do too.
Because I swear to God, I woke up from a nap yesterday and I saw something from Adam Schefter, and I almost tweeted about this because I think it's so unprofessional that a reporter is doing something like this, saying that Stephon Diggs was traded. I was so pissed.
I really hate like when legitimate news stuff, news sources, news whatever. I hate when they do April Fool's stuff. I'm like, what a waste of time.
What, like, and the fact that you actually had to think about that, like, if I'm Adam Schefter, people like look to me as like the source. Like, he is incredibly reliable. I just lost such respect for him.
Now listen,
I was so pissed.
A good like April Fool's Day joke I could take. Like, I can take one.
Sure.
My dad's gotten me a lot over the years, as I just mentioned. He likes to beep when I walk by the car, so that is gonna, you know, you can tell April Fool's Day is one of his favorites. Paul tried to get me a couple years ago when he texts me, and he doesn't realize when I know it's April Fool's Day. I mean, literally, I know it's April Fool's Day because I'm just waiting for my dad. This has been my whole life. He's gotten me really well in the past.
What did you do yesterday?
Well, so Paul texted me a couple years ago, and he was like, "Hey." He goes, "There's a squirrel on the third floor and I can't get it out. What do I do?"
He's texting you this?
Paul texted me this. Well, I wrote back, "Why don't you call my dad?" And then I said, "And you can tell him that if he didn't April Fool's prank me every day growing up, that you would have had a chance with yours." It didn't.
That was pretty dumb on Paul's part. Why is he calling you? He's like a grown man.
But that's what he was joking. It was April Fool's. What should I do? He was trying to get me. My dad had texted me yesterday. What a day. I aced 2 par 3s today. I moved up a set of tees. It worked like magic. A pitching wedge from 95 yards, an 8-iron from 100. Just unbelievable.
He's a real life Tiger Woods.
I said, "Oh my God, that's crazy." You know what happened here? Bandit was perfectly well behaved. He didn't whine once, and he learned how to wipe his mouth after he drank from the water bowl. Because it drives my dad nuts when he drips the water everywhere.
My husband, Marguerite, says, told a woman he didn't understand English, and she responded in perfect Italian. Danielle, I think the positive pregnancy ones are wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, that's just not a funny joke.
And Maureen says on Facebook they showed Josh Allen in a Dolphins uniform. That's funny too. But I also saw the one where they said that Josh Allen had proposed to his girlfriend. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's great. Like, why is that an April Fool's joke?
Sandra got nailed with a rubber band around the kitchen sprayer. Anybody ever get you good?
I don't know that anyone's ever like pulled an April Fool's prank on me, to be honest with you.
I told you my dad had me call in when I needed an internship. He had me call in the Buffalo Zoo.
Oh my God, tell that story.
This is years ago, and I really needed an internship to graduate. So I'm in college, and he called me, and he was like, "Oh, honey, I think I found you an internship. I've got a good in. Call this number. You're going to ask for Mr. Fox."
At the zoo.
So, like, I thought I was going to be interviewed for an internship that I needed to graduate. And that's how my dad gets you. He really knows what you need. I had all these questions. I had bullet points. I was like ready to go. I finally got up the nerve to make the call. And I'm like, and it's like, "You've reached the Buffalo Zoo." And I was like, no. You got me so good that day. But like, that is what happened to me growing up. So you can't get me anymore.
So funny.
Oh, it was awful.
Okay, hold on, Jenna. I want to go back. My mom told my sister that my dad came home with a goat. He said he didn't want to cut the grass anymore. So can you come? The neighbors are mad. He keeps buying. Okay, so then Jenna says she called and said, "Can I come see it?" Then she said, "Can I come see it? Oh my God, I'm coming over."
So did she come over and
what happened?
I'm assuming there was just nothing.
Kathy says, "Oh my gosh, your dad is so funny." James says, "I made a joke to my friend and said I'm not their friend anymore."
Oh my God. He was, but that was a funny one, like in hindsight. But at the time I was like, "You've got to be kidding me."
That's funny. Peter said I had a great April Fool's prank in 2016 and boomerang back in a good way. It was sweet. Okay. Jenna says, my sister thought she really got a goat, only to find out that there was nothing, I'm sure. Wow, that's
I guarantee too, like my parents will watch Second Cup and my mom will be watching later and she'll be like, Bob, come listen to this. And then he'll be laughing at his own joke like decades later.
It's a dad thing to
Decades
do.
later, he'll be laughing at his own joke still.
So funny.
Yeah.
Okay, if you are buying a home these days, or if you're even thinking about selling, okay, well, I guess let me rephrase this. So many people, it turns out, cannot afford to buy a home.
Right.
And so people are renting now more often than they're buying. That said, I was shocked to hear how made to
Were
even
you
think
shocked?
about buying a home. I was.
It doesn't surprise me. You need to be making six figures, they say.
To afford a typical median price home.
Right, but that doesn't surprise me these days with the interest rates and how much the home prices have gone up.
Look at this map, because I feel like this tells the picture, tells the story. Look at the dark blues. We're talking
California,
Massachusetts,
New York,
New Jersey,
Connecticut,
Florida, Oregon, Washington. Like then you look at the middle of the country and it's a lot less expensive, but I'm actually surprised about Florida, and I wonder if it's like South Florida that really does it, kind of like the way downstate, Long Island,
anywhere
Manhattan.
on the coast.
Yeah.
Anywhere on the coast of Florida, because you're literally looking either at the ocean or the Gulf, right?
Yeah.
So like that is primo real estate. We're talking multi-million dollars along, and I bet that just pulls it right up.
It's so interesting to me. I mean, realistically, and I don't want to get political here, but taxes are high in New York.
Sure.
There are fewer taxes in Florida in certain cases.
Well, but we also have New York City, which obviously
and that's
is gonna
kind of my
skew
other
us.
thought.
Yeah.
Connie says insurance is crazy here. Patty says New York is just insane.
Nance, I can't believe the prices of homes. I just don't know how people can afford them. I agree. Have you ever gone and looked at, like, maybe let's say around your neighborhood or around a neighborhood you might be interested in looking at a house and look at what the houses went for, let's say in like 2009. Exactly what I was going to say, because that is what I moved back here.
Well, and okay, but
had I bought a house.
And consider what had just happened.
Fair. That's very fair. Okay, we're coming off a recession then.
And the housing bubble had burst. I mean, everything. And realistically, Buffalo really wasn't affected by what had happened in 2007, 2008, like when the housing bubble burst, because housing prices weren't
kind of
super
stayed,
high.
Yeah. But man, I look at some of the house, like, look at our house, look at like other houses that were purchased around then, and look at what they were purchased for then.
Oh,
and
I
then
know.
In like the span of, 5 to 10 years, they just went skyrocketing.
Kathy says, so not a buyer's market now to buy a house. Even renting is outrageously high, like a mortgage. Right? Yeah. Some people are paying $2,000 a month to live in a one bedroom. That's a lot of money. Justin says New York State just simply isn't affordable anymore.
Oh, good. Adam Campos has a way for us to live for free in California. We could just move in with his parents. He wants to.
Must be
No,
nice.
I'm just
Yes. Tim Cox is here with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi,
Tim Cox, everyone. We love Tim Cox.
Such a nice guy.
Joyce says the cost of everything is getting ridiculous. My rent went up $30. My car insurance $200. My car needs to be repaired for $640. Can't get ahead. Right? How difficult is it? And I don't, because it's not easy to get ahead in any kind of economy. But how difficult is it right now to even think about getting ahead?
So when we were reading this today, this is the other thing that I kind of was like, okay, so they base this off this study. They're looking at whether mortgage payments could be made based on the money you're making, assuming a 20% down payment with a 30-year fixed rate. They did not factor in closing costs or home maintenance. The closing costs are really expensive.
Yeah. Yes. That's, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money.
And home maintenance, like,
what does that mean, though? Like, what does home maintenance actually mean? Do they mean painting? And
how about we
landscaping?
We have the double, right? And so my brother's hot water tank went last year. He can't not have hot water. It would have been hilarious, but he can't not have hot
April
water.
Fools.
I was like, oh, it's just David. Yeah. That's all right. But no, really, like, something like that. All these things are so expensive.
Yes, Karen says it's very hard to make ends meet. Surely it's hard on a fixed income, no less. Kathy says, I've been looking to rent for my son. It's so high now. I feel sorry for the 20 and 30-year-old single gentlemen generation out there.
Yeah.
They're struggling to buy or rent. You need at least 2 more roommates to get by. Okay, Diane says, if my kids and grandkids weren't here, we'd move out of New York State.
It's like, you and I have talked about those things that you have to do at your house that are like not fun. They're not cool. Like if you're spending money, you want to be like, come over and see my sweet new kitchen, or like, check it out. We blew out this wall and it looks so amazing now. But instead it's like, you want to go look at my furnace?
Let's go sit around the hot water heater.
Grab your glass of wine. We're going to go to the basement. Let's go look at the furnace for a while.
I was just at Tim's house. Tim Cox, actually, who is joining us again. We love Tim Cox. I was at his house on Saturday. And
Tim at a party?
No, it was just a little gathering. We had dinner.
Tim.
But they just put in this beautiful brand new kitchen. And
Tim, I want to see your kitchen.
My jaw dropped when I walked in. They've got this gorgeous house in East Aurora.
I bet they do. I bet it's so good, nice looking.
Well, and his, is it okay to call him your fiance, Tim? Paul.
He's Paul too. Tim is a Paul also.
It is.
Oh,
he's an engineer.
I gotta go.
Why? Oh, I was just like, what? You're leaving me?
Why?
Justin says East Aurora is beautiful.
See, and that's what's exciting when you put in a new kitchen or something like that. Like when Paul redid our kitchen, and that was super fun. You could come over and see that. It really gave it a facelift. But like, there's so many fun things that you want to do, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to
bathroom.
A fence,
Yes. Actually, a fence sometimes looks good.
Yeah, we put a fence in. It did look really nice, but
Patty says, I need a new kitchen. It's just so expensive.
I know.
There are ways, I'm sure, that you can do it where it's not expensive.
I mean, we did ours as cost effective as possible,
right.
But Paul's very handy.
Right, that's true.
So like,
can I tell you something?
And I'm a very good supervisor. So when there are projects that need to be done, I am very good at making sure we're staying on track, meeting our deadlines, and I'll give a timeline. I've been told my timelines are not realistic.
And that you're a pain in the rump.
But I just like to stick to that. I'm like, this is a 2-day project. He's like, what?
My mom says that they had to spend $4,000 on a new boiler before they sold their house.
Right? Like, who wants to come check on my boiler? No one.
I love Rosie's Ice Cream in East Aurora. Okay, but wait, let me tell you my funny story. So the other night before we fell asleep, Russ and I were watching this show called it was called Extreme Cheapskates. And
what was the next person like? Hi, my name's Katie.
Thank you. And I'm going, every twist and turn, I'm like, this is Katie. This is Katie.
No, you did not.
I swear.
Like what?
Okay, so this woman was hosting a party. It was a Christmas special.
Come to my house for holidays.
Thank you.
It's a lot of fun.
She's asking people for decorations so that she could decorate her house with other people's decorations and not have to spend money on the decorations.
That's a great idea. Were they extra
decorations?
That's a great idea.
Okay.
My friends and I share shower decorations. I'll borrow stuff. Like, what are you going to do with the... Okay, go on. Go on.
She also
Tell me more of her great ideas.
She was cooking dinner.
Okay.
And found a discount supermarket where the food was either at or past expiration.
Okay, I'm not buying past expiration food. At expiration, just toss it in the freezer. It's fine.
So they did that, tossed it in the freezer, and we're talking like a year's back. She made chicken dinner with this expired meat that was in the freezer.
Do you want to come over for dinner this weekend? I'm cooking.
Karen says such a great idea. Then instead of putting lights up in her windows, she put red and green cellophane in the windows to get the effect.
Did it look cute?
No.
I don't hate that idea.
I knew it.
If it looks bad, then I wouldn't do it. But
I'm telling you, I'm rolling, howling in bed going, this is Katie, this is Katie, this is Katie.
What channel?
I don't even remember.
Oh, now I want to watch it.
It was so funny.
Like, listen, here's the thing, though. For a shower, how about the things I made for Aaron's shower? They came out adorable.
Yes, that was okay.
So I found, we have an old house. I got to tell the story in like 40 seconds. We have an old house, and I have found old, like, windows. You know, like those big, they were from, like, a cabinet or something like that. They're paned windows from, no one used them. So I took them. Why is Josh there?
I don't know.
Oh. So anyways, I took them and I put pictures in all. I made Paul spray paint them. I put pictures in all of them.
It looked good.
It looked adorable, and they were almost free. Just I had to.
Justin, this is so funny. You guys are my favorite morning show. You guys always make me LOL. Thank you.
And then I've borrowed shower decor before. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy
somebody's
it
loofah?
No, baby shower.
Oh.
See, and you don't even know because you didn't even have to throw them because you're a man.
Oh,
And
okay,
everything
here we
falls on the
go.
women, and that's it. I'm done.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a great Tuesday.